The 1918 to 1923 German inflation, illustrated by postage stamps. After Germany lost World War I, it was punished by the conditions of the Versailles Treaty. Those conditions took away all of Germany's former colonies and demanded unrealistic payments to the victors of World War I. Germany, with its economy in shambles, found itself in the worst inflation to be encountered by Western Europe since the beginning of the 20th century. This chart illustrates that disastrous inflation period. After the armistice, on October 1, 1918, the domestic letter rate was 15 pfennigs, 15% of 1 mark. On October 1, 1919, the cost was 20 pfennigs. 7 months later, in May of 1920, the cost had doubled to 40 pfennigs. By the beginning of 1922, the cost to mail a letter had risen in 2 years from 15 pfennigs to 200 pfennigs. 2 months later, on July 1st, 300 pfennigs. October 1st, 6 marks. 6 weeks later, the cost was 12 marks. December 15th, 25 marks. By January 15, 1923, it cost 50 marks to mail a letter. In 1 year, the cost had risen from 2 marks to 50. By March, the cost had doubled again to 100 marks. By July 1st, 300. August 1st, 1,000. September 1st, 75,000 marks. By then, it was necessary to allow back stamps to make room for an address on the front. September 20th, 250,000 marks. By the end of November, the cost for domestic first-class letter was 20 billion marks. The postal rate changes between 1918 and 1923 offer an illustration of the severity of German inflation. Mailing a letter in 1918 would cost 15 pfennigs, equal to 15% of a mark. Mailing a letter in 1923 would cost 20 billion marks. On November 9, 1923, Adolf Hitler would make an unsuccessful attempt to topple the Weimar government. Inflation during this period continued to cause large-scale shortages of food and fuel. The majority of Germany's population would suffer from hunger and winter's bitter cold for years to come. By 1933, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis would be in full control of the German government, helped by their programs to end the inflation. While making life better for the German people, the Nazis were able to gain power and put in place their plans for extermination and world domination. The postage stamps, shown here, are a way to trace the history of a sudden and steep inflation and provide a clear view of one of the causes of Hitler's rise to power in Germany. This is only one example of how postage stamps can provide a lasting window into our world and its history.